Heartbreaker of a loss in Super Bowl 57 for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to try to react to it and really come to grips of how that game ended for Philadelphia. Kansas City Chiefs get gifted the Super Bowl by a final score of 38-35, and the way that this game ended was disgusting, absolutely despicable, and embarrassing for the NFL. And it's fitting that in the lead up to Super Bowl 57, Roger Goodell was asked about the officiating in the NFL, and he said that it's never been better. How can you say that and then have this transpire where we have an all-time Super Bowl matchup where the Philadelphia Eagles take the early lead, they go up by 10 heading into halftime for recess, then the Kansas City Chiefs come out in the second half, guns a-blazing. And to their credit, they were phenomenal. They were unstoppable. The Eagles defense had no answers for Kansas City as the Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, scored touchdowns on 3 consecutive drives. But then Philadelphia is able to come back and make this a game. They drive down the field, they respond. They tie it up at 35-35 after a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And then the Chiefs move down the field, and on a 3rd and long, if the Eagles are able to force a field goal, yes, the Chiefs might go up by 3 to make it 38-35, but Philadelphia would have been given plenty of time to come back in this game with limited timeouts. At that point, they had 2 timeouts. And then James Bradberry is called on this 3rd and long for a pass interference call that was questionable. Now, that type of call being called in that spot in the first 3 quarters, I understand it. Because on Juju Smith-Schuster, on a little bit of a pull route to the outside, Bradberry had contacted him around the waist to a certain degree as he was coming out of his break. But it's just not a penalty that you call in that particular situation with the lack of Eagles timeouts, which basically ended the football game and gifted the Kansas City Chiefs a Super Bowl championship, the second for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, without giving the Eagles an opportunity to at least try to come back in that game. That is what ended the ball game right there. And I feel bad for James Bradberry. His technique was pretty good. Juju Smith-Schuster started out on the inside. He broke it out to the outside, and as he turned around, Bradberry was stride for stride with him, and he had a little bit of contact around his waist. But you don't make that call in that spot to rob us as fans of what could have been an epic Super Bowl ending. Honestly, a game that had an opportunity to go into overtime. And then also in that spot, it's just a questionable call to have the Super Bowl end in that fashion. Now, I've never believed the notion that the NFL is rigged, but a call like that happens and it makes you think, what's better for the NFL? What's better for the legacy of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid? It's for them to win that football game. So is the NFL rigged? R for rigged, C for clean. Now, I'm not one to make excuses because the Eagles' defense was trash in this game. They really, really struggled throughout the majority of it. Patrick Mahomes was hobbled. This is an Eagles defense that went into the Super Bowl with the most sacks since the 1985 Bears. Their sack production had been historic. They had 15 more sacks than any other team in the regular season. They didn't have any sacks. They had that special teams breakdown late, which led to a big Kansas City score. And in total, this is an Eagles defense that gave up a couple of crucial 3rd downs, was not good in the red zone, and oftentimes they got burnt when they tried to blitz Patrick Mahomes. But the main talking point of this football game is going to be that call on James Bradberry, which I just don't understand how you make that call in that spot because of the ripple effect and all of the implications that it has. You rob us as fans of a great Super Bowl ending. The Super Bowl basically ended on a pass interference call. Why can't we decide the Super Bowl a game of this magnitude by playing in between the lines and letting the best team win. In my opinion, I'm not sure that the best team won this football game because you look at the numbers, Philadelphia, despite falling a little bit flat there in that second half for a little bit of a stretch, outgained Kansas City. They performed better in multiple areas than Kansas City. Was their red zone defense good? No. But to call that pass interference in that spot, it's not like it's blatant, okay? I'm not complaining about a blatant call. I am talking about a 50-50 call that might be called in a regular season game, that might be called in the first 3 quarters of a ball game. You don't make that call at that moment in the game when it decides a fucking Super Bowl champion. That's my issue with it. Now, I do want to thank everybody out there for subscribing to Philadelphia Eagles Now. It was a phenomenal season. For it to end this way, it's a punch on the chin. It's a kick in the balls. It's a punch in the stomach. I had to leave the studio to throw a football against a chair because I'm pissed off. Thanks for an amazing season. Our coverage isn't going to stop. We're still going to give you great coverage throughout free agency and the NFL draft. But the sour taste in the mouths of Eagles fans is going to last for a really long time. And this is just a sickening defeat to end the season. And in the great words of Tom Downey to the officiating crew, name and address. We had a couple of super chats that did come in. So we'll start answering some of those super chats. Squidward Tentacle sent in a big one. Squidward, please make sure that you email me, chase@chatsports.com. You are the winner of our Super Chat menu items. You can put these up in your man cave. Please just get in touch with us, either on my email, chase@chatsports.com, or hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, @chase_senior. This really sucks. Shout out to you guys for this season. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. JB Warnock with the $2 Super Chat. Trace, thanks for a great season of content. As well as me, we appreciate you, JB Warnock, for tuning in. John Wallace with the 10. Hey, Chase, Trizzy, Abby, love y'all. This is sad and inappropriate ending to the biggest sports event of the year. Philly has a great future, so do the Niners. God bless. See y'all next year. And again, for the season to end in this way, I just can't believe it, man. I just can't believe it. But it's actually also not surprising that the game ended in this fashion. Like, I'm never one to complain about officiating. The Eagles defense wasn't great in this game. They got cooked on third downs. They couldn't stop the Chiefs in the red zone. Their special teams unit broke down on that punt return, which really did change the course of the game. Jalen Hurts had a fumble, scoop, and score that went back 36 yards to the crib. But even with all of that, the Eagles did bend down, or they didn't break late, I should say, in this game. They bent, but they did not break. They came up with the stop that they needed on third down to force the Chiefs to kick a field goal with plenty of time left and a couple of timeouts left to win this football game, and they get robbed by the officiating crew. It's disgusting. It's appalling. It's atrocious. It's a joke. It is a joke. So what's your one-word reaction to the loss? I have a lot of one words that I want to say. I can't say them all here on the show. Potion with the $50 super chat that came in. Thank you, Potion, for that. We can pop that up on the screen. I know that he's going to be fired up. And here's my thing, too. You know, you can't say, oh, the Eagles have an opportunity to come back here next year. Like, they don't. So many things have to go your way. You're not going to go 16-3 yet again. You're not going to have some of the same breaks that go your way. It's so difficult to maintain this level of consistency year in and year out. So you don't know when you're going to be back here. You really don't. And the Eagles get robbed out of this.
Travis Kelce said no one believes in us.
Yeah, Travis Kelce said no one believes in us. You were 16-3. You had the number 1 seed in the AFC. Nobody believes in you? Like, what are you talking about, man? Poacher with the 50. I understand the lack of points in the second half, but damn, that holding call sucked. Love y'all. Go Birds. It sucked. Absolutely sucked. Words of Wisdom, I think, sent in a couple of super chats. Words of Wisdom's coming out my neck tonight. It's all good. We can deal with it. We'll take a look at a photo that we're going to show too. Like, here's the hold, right? I understand he has his left arm engaged. But one, like, this is sticky step-for-step coverage, okay? In this spot, you don't make that call. You can't have the Super Bowl determined on this call. If it's blatant, that's one thing. But sometimes this is not even called. And the throw wasn't even close. Mahomes just chucked it up in the back of the end zone. It was like 7 yards away from Juju Smith-Schuster. And that gives the Chiefs a first down, and that's what decides the Super Bowl. At least give the Eagles a chance. Let's go to those super chats from Words of Wisdom. Chase, stop, bro. You're making excuses. Fly, Chiefs, fly. Nah, I'm not making excuses, man. I couldn't be more truthful here. Somewhere in Africa, kids are going to be wearing Eagles Super Bowl shirts. This is karma for Eagles fans wishing Purdy to get hurt. They didn't wish that he got hurt. Jelani with the 2. Thank you so much for that. Eagles have a great future. Eagles fans chin up, owling. See, yes, they have a bright future for sure, but like, you're going to give Jalen Hurts a contract extension, and he is going to take up a lot of the salary cap. You're not going to be able to have a roster that's as deep and as talented, and it's so rare to get back to the Super Bowl back-to-back years. It just is. Again, I'm just sick at the game ending that way. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a penalty. I'm saying that you don't call a 50-50 call in that spot. In that spot. Grade the Eagles season, A, B, C, D, or F. Where are we out in time? We good? Let us know down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Videos still coming your way every single day.